Hey, what's up, everybody? It's back again. I mean, I'm on a roll here. So it's Tim, High Noons Vinyl. So there's a couple contests. I missed a bunch of them, and if I missed yours, please do not take it as a personal attack or offense. It just nature of the beast, unfortunately. But there's a couple that have deadlines coming up that I really want to jump in on. So if you see my mug a lot of the next couple days, I'm really sorry. I know, just, watch it like this. Hey, there you go. That's probably better. So anyway, this one's for MikeGuitarPlayer07. He's celebrating his 300 subs. What amazing feat. Congratulations. It's so nice to be able to see just so many other channels here in the VC continue to flourish, but and now it's been made reference before, but he's a younger guy, and it's nice to see that there's still an interest into this old fuddy-duddy format and music that we listened to in the 70s and 80s, and there's still tons of it to be enjoyed. So it's refreshing to see. So there was 3 easy questions, so I'm going to jump in real quick and try not to waste everybody's time. Question 1 was, what record would you have said you've spun the most? Now, does anybody know what I'm about to pull? I bet you can guess who. Of course, this one, Electric Ladyland from Jimi Hendrix Experience. To me, this isn't my favorite. I mean, I can make an argument that it is. I really can. Hell, I could probably make an argument that the 3 studio albums released in his lifetime are all in my top 10. But I consider Axis Bold as Love as my favorite album of all time, even though I've probably listened to this more. And this one may just be a little bit more special to me. This one just gives you a truer insight to where Jimmy was going. If he hadn't died when he did, the Band of Gypsies would have obviously been a bigger flourish and a bigger thing. But we started to get some different looks with Jimmy. The psych was there still. The blues was heavily influenced on this album, but we started to see that he didn't just have to play with his teeth anymore. He didn't have to light his guitar on fire. Everybody knew just how badass he was. And he was opening up the avenues to allow more things to breathe and allow more songs to take shape. And he was coming into his own. I think he was feeling a little bit more comfortable in his own skin, being a megastar. And it showed in some of the ambitious songwriting and just the incredible studio work that he put in on this album. It was just a shame that he didn't get a chance to continue his work and let us see what it was tucked away in that beautiful brain is. As things are falling in the background, it's Jimmy yelling at me. Question 2. What was the first album you picked up? I remember the first album that I bought with my own money. And it's not like it's a whopper, but it's one that I think a lot of people, especially if you're into power pop, you should really pay attention to. And that's Get the Knack. This is the debut record from the Knack. Everybody knows the Knack for My Sharona, or in that case, Weird Al's My Bologna. But this album was leaps and bounds beyond just My Sharona. So I remember I saved up whatever my allowance was at the time, and probably robbed my piggy bank or whatever, and got the money together to get this. I didn't want the single. It wasn't enough. I really wanted this album. And my mom was like, all right, it's your money. You saved up. Do what you want. And when I bought it and I took it home and I played it, and I think I played side 2 first, because the lead off on side 2 is My Sharona. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna hear that song again. And that was the first time I was really exposed to the fact that there was an album version versus a single version. Because the album version, now that we know it, has the more blistering guitar solo. Well, back in those days, the pop stations, it was 320, and out the door you go on to the next one, while the DJ was queuing up his mic with reverb, and it was horrible. But that's what radio was back then. And I was really blown away by this album. Striking, obviously, paying homage to the Beatles. But this album really just made me realize that there was more to life than just singles. At that point, I was just buying 45s. And this made me realize that there's a whole bigger world out there, and that just buying the singles wouldn't do anymore. They were fun, but now I needed this. So The Knack really opened my eyes. Love this album. Really worth your time. You could probably find it in a $5 bin all day long, and honestly, it's worth more, to be perfectly honest. So, and then lastly, as I'm running on way too long with 3 questions, just tell a story about collecting records, or shopping for records, or your collection. My collection, luckily, I've been pretty lucky over the last 3-4 years to really be building a good collection. There's some stuff I still need to weed out and what have you, but getting back into vinyl was kind of a necessity for me 4 years ago. I was missing something. I'd been missing something for a while. A lot of different paths I went down as far as for, collecting stuff or playing video games, or just life taking me in different avenues. But it seemed like my love for music wasn't being nourished anymore. And that was sad. And one day my soul just kind of said, enough. You've got to find an outlet. And I kind of got back into it. I've mentioned before, I'm rebuilding. I've had to sell off a lot of stuff or in the course of my life, especially when I became a young dad for the first time many moons ago. I love my kid, don't get me wrong. I love him to death. I love all my kids. But it definitely was an eye-opening experience that I had to take care of something. So, these were material, they had to go. So I'm still working on rebuilding everything. I've got some stuff up north that I'm trying to hopefully get down here this year to add back into the collection proper. You know what, but if it doesn't happen, if it doesn't work out, they're just things. But with this, it feels like it's a part of me, and it's a proper part of me. So rebuilding my collection has given me back something of me, if that makes any sense. And you guys are probably the ones that it would make the most sense too. So thank you for watching. Please go check out Mike's channel. He is just an amazing guy and very knowledgeable, wide diversity of music interests. Really doing a lot of different creative videos. Has done some collab videos, and I think is really just putting forth a great best foot forward of a member of the younger generation who is embracing taking time to enjoy something. The younger generation, my oldest, they have no problem just going Spotify, play, go. And it's like, what do you listen to? I don't know. They're just putting it on. But when you have someone who is literally picking this up intently, not streaming, and going through the minutia, they want to listen, not just hear. They want to absorb, not just have it be background. And the fact that Mike and others like him are doing that is just a wonderful thing. So continue, support him. The link's down below. Thank you for watching. Mike, congratulations again. Love everything you're doing. Continued success. And I'll talk to everybody soon. Peace.